Prime Minister Narendra Modi and
Visa-free diplomacy. How a quiet agreement between India and Saudi Arabia could reshape future travel. The diplomatic relationship between India and Saudi Arabia has just crossed a subtle but significant threshold. Without dramatic headlines or grand summits, New Delhi and Riyadh have signed an agreement that removes a long-standing friction point: short-stay visas for official passport holders. At first glance, this may seem like a technical bureaucratic move. But in diplomacy, such steps often signal something much bigger. A quiet signing with loud implications. The agreement was formally signed at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs headquarters in Riyadh. On behalf of Saudi Arabia, the document was signed by Abdulmajeed Al-Smari, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Protocol Affairs. India was represented by its ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Dr. Suhel Ajaz Khan. Under this new arrangement, holders of diplomatic, official, and special passports from both countries will be allowed to enter each other's territory for short stays without applying for a visa in advance. In simple terms, official travel between New Delhi and Riyadh just became faster, smoother, and far less paperwork-heavy. For diplomats and government officials who travel frequently, this is not a small convenience. It's a strategic facilitation. What exactly is the Saudi-India visa exemption deal? The agreement is a mutual short-stay visa exemption, meaning it applies equally to both sides. It is strictly limited to diplomatic passport holders, official passport holders, special passport holders. Those covered can now travel for short official visits without seeking a visa beforehand, significantly reducing delays in diplomatic engagement, negotiations, and intergovernmental coordination. Importantly, this does not yet apply to ordinary tourists, business travelers, or work visa categories. But in diplomatic practice, official facilitation often comes first, and broader public benefits tend to follow later. Who benefits right now and who doesn't? Immediate beneficiaries: diplomats, senior government officials, special envoys, and official delegations. For them, the removal of visa requirements means faster response to diplomatic developments, easier scheduling of high-level visits, more frequent face-to-face engagement. Who is not covered yet? Tourists, business travelers, students, and professionals. However, analysts note that such agreements often serve as confidence-building measures. When countries trust each other enough to simplify official movement, it frequently opens the door to broader visa facilitation down the line. Why this matters for India-Saudi relations. This agreement comes at a moment when ties between India and Saudi Arabia are expanding rapidly, economically, strategically, and politically. The two countries have strengthened cooperation through the Saudi-Indian Strategic Partnership Council, which now covers defense and security, trade and investment, energy cooperation, tourism and cultural exchange, science and technology. By making official travel easier, both governments are effectively removing friction from decision-making. That matters because policies on trade, defense, energy, and diaspora welfare often require sustained, in-person dialogue. For ordinary citizens, this may feel distant, but the impact isn't. Faster diplomatic coordination often leads to quicker policy decisions, stronger economic partnerships, more stable labor and diaspora frameworks. A signal, not a destination. While the agreement does not immediately change visa rules for the general public, it sends a clear diplomatic signal. Trust is deepening. Saudi Arabia is one of India's fastest-growing trade partners, while Saudi investments in Indian infrastructure, energy, and technology are expanding steadily. At the same time, millions of Indians live and work in the Gulf, making smooth bilateral relations a practical necessity, not just a diplomatic ideal. Experts believe that today's exemption for diplomats could become tomorrow's facilitation for business leaders, students, tourists, families. The bigger picture. In international relations, breakthroughs don't always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes, they come in the form of a signature that removes a stamp requirement. This Saudi-India visa exemption may not affect holiday travel today, but it marks another step toward a closer, more agile partnership between two major powers of Asia and the Middle East. And history suggests that when diplomats move freely, opportunities for citizens often follow.